Yeah, hi, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We'll just wait for another minute to have more people join in. Okay, just a minute and then we will start. Okay, I think we should start. Good day, everyone. Today we are doing the fifth episode of season 6. My name is Ashfaq Ahmed and I'm the anchor of PMI Mumbai chapter, PMI chapter exchange program, and also the vice president of PMI Mumbai chapter. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge our current volunteers for the chapter exchange program. We have Tao from the Taiwan chapter. Tao, can you please say hi to the crowd?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chapter Exchange program. Hope you guys can learn something tonight.
Thank you, Tao. We have Priscilla from Brazil chapter. I think she's away today. We have Anita from Mumbai chapter, Amod Kusalkar from Mumbai chapter. Then we have Rangaraj from Mumbai chapter. Rangaraj, do you want to say hi to the crowd? We have Sunita from the Mumbai chapter. Sunita, you want to? Sunita, are you there? Can we see you on camera? And we also have Aman, who is doing the setup for this entire activity. Okay, moving on to the next slide. This is an episode, this is an upcoming event presented by our supporting chapter from Malaysia. They have an event which is planned for 20th to 29th July, and they have online as well as offline participation. So, in case you are interested, please reach out to them and register for the event. They have a virtual 2-day event on those 28th and 29th July. If anybody from the Malaysia chapter is present and if they have some code for the attendees of this chapter exchange program, request them to put it in the chat. Moving on to the next slide. The chapter exchange program, we are currently in the fifth event, as I mentioned. So this is the list of events that we are planning to do in the current year, in 2025. We have already done 4, and today we are doing the fifth with panelists from Indonesia, Vietnam, Luxembourg, Peru, Ghana, and UAE. For the next event, which is happening on 18th of July, we will share the registration link at the end of this event. For the chapter exchange effect map, can I ask Sunita to take it forward? Sunita, are you there? We don't hear Sunita. That's okay. Let me introduce the exchange effect. And we have had registration from 75 countries. And Tao, you want to talk about the next slide?
Yeah, I will. No problem. Yeah, I will do. So next slide, please.
Yeah, just a minute. Just a minute. Okay.
So please say hello to each other and continue networking while we are getting started. You can update your profile in Amit and with your linking details and connect with fellow attendees. Today, we're excited to announce we have more than 2,800 registrations from across the globe, 75 countries to be precise, from Alaska to New Zealand, and all countries and continents in between. So, thank you everyone for this warm response to this initiative. The meeting is being recorded. If you are uncomfortable in any ways, you may choose not to attend. Otherwise, you are welcome to continue. Everyone here in this event are speaking on our individual capacity. Our view do not represent our organization's view in any ways. And and like last time, we will spotlight you. Participate activity in the events, and that's how we do this. And please share your quote on the topic or the event on our chapter exchange program. We'll stop spotlight you, and your quote will be published in our attendee spotlight sections in our Insight Exchange program nuggets. So gear up and share your quotes on the chat windows.
Thank you, Tao. The so audience will be waiting for your quote, and it will be published at the end of the event. Going on to the next segment, just a snapshot of our program. Chapter Exchange program is a PMI chapter collaboration initiative. We have 39 partnering chapters and many supporting chapters on this program, representing all regions that PMI is in today. And we PMI Mumbai chapter is a virtual community of chapter leaders, a community that transcends across countries, continents, and cultures. Our vision is to evangelize cross chapter collaboration and encourage cultural diversity. It's, a, it's all about teamwork, co creating monthly event to bring diverse perspective to our chapter members, spurring networking and collaboration opportunities. And by doing this, we bring a community to share. We're building a community to share good practice within and external to the program. That is why you will notice from chapters from diverse background participating in this program, because we truly believe that diverse connection leads to innovative solution. Moving on to the next slide. Uh, Sunita, are you there? Or Tao, you, Tao?
So, Senior Director of the Performance at the United ASEAN and founder of the Construction Quality Management Community of Practice, Dr. Harry Emery brings over 25 years of global experience in constructions, projects, and management and digital transformation. As PMI Global Construction Outreach Ambassador of PMI-CP, Harry championed quality PMOs, methodologies combining AI in business intelligence for safer, smarter, and more sustainable project deliver across the rail, energy, and data center sectors. Let's welcome Harry.
Harry, you want to go ahead, please? I will try to share the
Thank you.
screen again.
Okay. Share screen or share PDF, it says. So let's see.
Yeah, I'm sharing it, Harry.
Oh, you're sharing?
Yeah.
I can share if you want. Okay. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our PMI Chapter Exchange. I'm Harry Amari, as mentioned. I'm a Senior Director of Performance at United ECM and also the PMI-CP Ambassador for our California and Silicon Valley chapter. So today we are going to be talking about the AI and OKRs and how we have used those concepts in Silicon Valley and California to develop our insight as a service, where we integrate human and artificial intelligence for smart decisions. So to give you a little bit of a concept of how we used AI and aligned it with our strategy, when I joined Slack National Lab, the reason they wanted me to join their organization was to integrate safety and quality systems using my QPMO methodology. As we were getting into the AI era and before everybody knew about AI agents, we were developing and creating our strategic leadership using AI agents for compliance of many documents that we had and many requirements that we had to meet. As we developed those AI agents, it became the insight as a service idea that we kind of developed together. And that's when I joined United ECM to scale that insight as a service by aligning our construction activities with our BIM and Lean IPD methodology. So now that I'm the PMI-CP ambassador, I'm trying to build a synergy and bring all these different components that are needed in order for a successful strategy execution. Meaning that if you just rely on the human intelligence or just the AI intelligence, you're not going to be as successful as you want in your digital project management or construction management. So we show people how we can drive performance using knowing our OKRs and the strategy of the organization as we bring value and satisfaction in the organizations. We also grow communities by sharing best practices and learning from each other. So we work together with the BIM Hero, the Lean IPD, the PMI CPMAI, which is a new AI certification and community, and our Women in Construction PM. So why talk about AI-driven OKRs now? Because as you know, OKRs bridge the execution between your strategy, vision, and direction with the results that you want to measure the outcome of your success. So using AI agents without knowing the context or knowing where the organization is heading, it will be very difficult for AI to guess what you're trying to do and analyze the trends. However, as people and humans that know the organization and can put that information together, the context, and help apply wisdom, creativity, and judgment to lead high performing, compliant, and safe operations using their people, that's the insight you want, and that's how you can use AI to transform static OKRs into objective alignment tools. So today's focus is to make sure that you hear our expert panelists share their practical insights on how they see AI create the most impact in goal alignment, how they balance AI power with human accountability, and what leadership and cultural shift are needed to trust AI as a partner in decision making. Again, I emphasize that it's a partner. It does not do the decision making for you. You need to provide the context and the insight that you have in order for AI to assist you. So I encourage you to listen with this mindset. How can I champion an AI human synergy in my own team, project, and organization? So again, ask questions, share your experience, and challenge any ideas that you hear. So hopefully the interaction will generate more ideas and we can learn from each other. So hopefully after this event, you will gain strategic clarity, understanding AI role in alignment. We have done this thing in the US with Slack National Lab in many, many different cases to improve our lessons learned and how we can improve our process and procedures. So we have a lot of practical ideas blending the AI with the PMI standards because we did it through our PMO and design and construction services. We have also inspirations of people that used AI and human synergy in other projects, and we hope to hear those ideas and thoughts from our panelists. That's it. And I'm looking forward to a great discussion panel.
Harry, you want me to stop on these slides? You're done?
Yes. Oh, you weren't moving the slides as I was speaking? Okay, that's okay. I'm done.
I'll just stop on those slides. Yeah, I think you did covered everything. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Harry. Thank you so much for setting the context and also setting up the these or giving the audience the details about the strategic clarity about this event. I'm looking forward for a lot of details. I'm just sharing my screen so that we can do a quick introduction about with our panelist. This is the one. Just bear with me. Yes, screen windows. Okay. So I'm the moderator for this event. I'll skip this slide. You're able to see my screen, right? Okay, I'll just skip this slide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Thank you. Anjana, you want to quickly introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Sure. Hi, everyone. A warm welcome, warm regards from the UAE chapter. I'm very happy to be here. I'm going to speak a little bit about my experience about the topic around AI and OKRs. And also, I'm the media and marketing director from the UAE chapter. So happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you, Anjana. Moving on to our next panelist. Anli, can you please introduce yourself? Anli, I cannot hear you. Are you there? Okay, while we get him onboarded online, we will move on to the next one. Madeline, can you please introduce yourself?
Of course. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here. I read many comments from everyone from all over the world. We have people from India, Mumbai, Dubai, Brazil. So I'm really happy to share this space with everyone today. I'm Madeline Silva. I'm from Lima, Peru. So I speak Spanish. So please be really understandable with me when I speak English because it's not my current language. I'm gonna try my best. And I'm really passionate about OKRs. I've been working with OKR more or less 6 years. So I'm glad to be here with you, and I try to do my best to share all the knowledge that I can do. Thank you guys for the invitation.
Madeline, you also run OKR University, is that right?
Yes, I also the CEO of OKR University, which is the platform, the biggest platform of OKR in all over Latin America. So if you speak Spanish or understand Spanish, you are really welcome to upload the information. There are many free resources about OKR over there. Thank you.
Thank you. We would like to hear more about you and the OKR detail that you have garnered over the last 6 years. Thank you so much for joining us today. Moving on to the next panelist. Anli, let us know if you are there. Kevin?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who has joined. And thanks for your
Thank you,
time
Kevin.
here. Yeah, my name is Kevin. I'm a PMI Future 50 for the year 2024. I'm from Ghana and representing the PMI Ghana chapter. I have a lot of experience in digital transformation projects, and I'm happy and excited to be on this platform with all of you to share my thoughts on OKRs and AI. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for joining us today. Tony, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good day. My name is Tony. So I'm the current serving as the General Secretary for PMI Indonesia. So happy to be here with you all with guys. So hopefully then we can share the knowledge that we have today and this come out with a fruitful discussion together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony. Do we have Anli here? Anli, are you online? Or if you join in, just ping us or let us know that you are able to connect. Okay. Thank you so much for all of you. And I will just stop sharing my presentation so that we'll be able to see all our panelists on the screen and hear them speak. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, let me just. Anli, I can see you. Are you able to speak? I can't hear you. Oh, can you please check what is the problem? Probably because I haven't
Uh,
heard you before.
Yeah,
I
sorry to interrupt. Sometimes it's the headphones. If you disconnect your headphones, because sometimes it doesn't work with this Hermit. So try to don't use the headphones, to unplug it and try to speak, because sometimes it has something with the headphones.
remove your headphones and try Anli if you can. If you would like to hear you, no, disconnect from the I think yes. Okay. Let us know as I think there is some noise coming from your side. Okay.
Hello? Any
Yes.
better?
Yes. Lot better. We can hear
Marvelous,
you.
Siva, you happy.
Yeah.
Very good
We are very
idea.
happy. Thank you so much.
Beautiful headphone suddenly. Ping.
Yeah. See the
Thank you.
earphone which is supposed to work is blocking everything. Okay. Anli, can you quickly introduce yourself? I removed the slides.
All right, sure, no worries. Warm regards from PMI Vietnam chapter. So, I'm actually heavily involved in PMI right now. I am member of a steering committee for the complexity study in the project management. And then also part of a steering advisory council for the PMI Infinity platform, and a
Okay.
reviewer for the standard of AI for the project management. Reviewer, yeah. And
Okay.
so and then
Anli,
quite a few
Anli,
other roles, yeah.
good.
Yeah,
So you are a part of
yeah,
the
yeah.
PMI. PMI, you said, uh, advisor to the PMI affinity community. What did
Yeah. I'm actually advisory council member of
advisory council?
Infinity
So
platform.
and infinity,
Yeah,
yes. Sorry. So anything that you want to
yeah.
let our audience know about how or what PMI is doing in a few sentences, please.
PMI actually, we are very keen on leverage AI for our professions. So
Okay.
since the past 2-3 years, we are pushing a lot of efforts into innovating the Infinity platform. So the third version gonna come out at October, November this year. A completely revamped platform that help us a lot. Then you have a real AI agents,
Okay.
things like Harry Imari mentioned earlier to help us. Also, we will have new certifications on capacity and the standard
Correct.
for standard of AI for the 3BM profession. It's going to come out very soon, in few months.
Thank you, Anli.
Hopefully,
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm sure many of our audience would like to know more about how PMI is doing. What is the next big thing that PMI is doing on AI, so that we can also leverage from that and improve our understanding and knowledge
Sure.
about PMI. Okay, moving on to the questions.
Fantastic. Sure.
Since this is a panel discussion, okay, my first question is to Madeline. What are the core challenges your organizations currently face with OKR alignment across teams or departments?
Excellent question, Hamed. Thank you for asking. But before to answer, I would like to know from the public today if they can tell me if they already know about OKR, or it's the first time if you just heard about OKR. Please, everyone who can listen us, you can share your answer through the chat of this webinar. Tell us, please, about how much do you know about OKRs, because I'm going to share maybe too much information. So I would like to share, depends of the level of our knowledge about OKR. Okay, so I invite everyone to the chat to share with us, how much do you know about OKRs? Is your first time that you hear about that? Or you already use it? You are an OKR coach? Let's see.
I think most of our audience is first timers. So if you can give a brief about what OKRs are, so that will also help the audience.
Okay. For everyone, the OKR framework is really great. I am really passionate about that. It's a framework that helps us to align organization. See, nowadays, what is happening? Organization are lack of alignment. We have a strategy, but all the department, all people who work in a company doesn't understand the strategy, doesn't understand how they can impact of that strategy or which objective or what indicators they have to move to go to that or to align to the strategy. So OKR framework can help us with that, not just to assign objective, also to have really powerful conversation to improve the way of working. Okay, so connection to, okay, we have here many answers. Greeting, first time that I hear about OKRs. Okay, objectives and key results. Okay, okay, okay. We have here some questions, some answers. Many people from the public is the first time that I hear about OKR. Okay, great. So connection with the question that Amit just asked me, what are the challenge of organization when they use OKR for alignment? Okay, I'm gonna just use three. I'm gonna share with you just three. The first one, that disconnection from a strategy. I said before, many teams don't clearly understand how the OKR link to the organization strategy goals. Even though I know teams that they don't understand the indicators. Sometimes strategies say, we're gonna increase EBITDA, but what does it mean, Madeline? So this is one big challenge. We don't understand the strategy of, we don't understand the objective of a company. So this is a really big challenge. The second challenge is lack of executive commitment. Everyone knows that leadership is essential for change. Hello, you can
Yeah, go
hear
ahead.
me,
Go ahead.
guys?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Something happened with my internet. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So everyone knows, because we are PMI, that leadership is essential for change. Okay. So a common challenge in deploying OKR is that the C-level, the managers, are not engaged with OKR. Sometimes they don't understand. They don't know what they're gonna get. So without a strong leadership sponsorship, the OKR process could be lose priority and visibility. Okay. And the third one, and this is really important, is unprepared organizational culture. Okay. Culture that resists change, like a few psychological safety or discourage transparency and cross-functionally collaboration, could be bad of OKR adoption. So if you don't prepare before your culture, because to use OKR, remember that it's really important to have the sponsorship. Second, that safety psychology really good, and also to have a really understanding of the strategy. Okay,
Thank
this
you.
is the first three challenges that I can share with you.
Thank you, Madeline. Thank you. Harry, you want to take a shot at the same question? Any challenges that you look at? What are the core challenges your organization currently face with OKR alignment across teams or departments?
So the challenges are usually people, because the strategies are written, maybe they developed in some time by some people at some time, but they change over time because not the regulations are too difficult to follow, or the compliance is confusing to follow. It's more their resistance to change, or adaptability and agility to understand how to take the new requirements and adjust their strategy. So the areas that we have kind of dealt with in the past were more human behavior and psychology versus the intelligence. meaning people are very intelligent. We know that they're very smart. It's just that they attach too much emotions to a particular way of thinking, and that's what we usually made our job more difficult in adjusting the strategy. Now, AIs helped us to identify different aspects of different things that we discussed. And using AI, we were able to help them see a better perspective rather than see it from their rival or somebody or other department that they're trying to fight, and try to get more kind of priority on the resources. And that's where people have the majority of their challenges, is how to balance and optimize the system with the limited resources they have. So that's our experience, is that if you educate people, if you collaborate and you can work with each other in a way that you are thinking sustainability for your system, what can we do to keep our system smooth and optimized, that's the best way to adjust your strategies as they change.
Okay. Okay. Any of our audience would like to add to this answer? What we heard from Marilyn and Harry? Okay. Okay, so we are satisfied with these answers. Let me move on to the next question. How would you define success for AI driven OKRs in your specific role or team? Can we have Kevin? Kevin, you want to take that question, please?
Yes. All right. So I think Madeleine hit I mean, you said the tone for this conversation, and the fact that majority of our teams and our organizations need to strive more to emphasize the fact that teams need to look at OKRs as a means to meet their strategic goals. Now, with the emergence of AI, I think in Harry's initial submission as part of it, it is our co-pilot, it is our assistant, it is our able way of doing work with data-driven outcomes. And so once we move away from our human factors and we're able to feed it with insightful and value-driven information, we are able to get at least some near to true outcomes that is in line with our organizational goals. Now, when we are able to feed it with the right data, it allows us to ensure that, I mean, we are providing accurate objectives as well as the right results. That is key to the organization. It also allows us to be able to be operationally efficient. So we are moving away from error-prone objectives or misalignments in our objectives, and driving us with an AI-powered tool that allows us to meet strategic organizational goals. It also allows us to be able to automate in terms of success from a project point of view. As project professionals, we are able to reduce repetitive tasks, and we're able to focus on real strategic the functions as part of our lead to deliver the value, right? So
Okay.
AI will ensure that at least we are automating some of our timelines, our schedules. It's able to identify risk, and here, especially for the risk, which are the unknowns, AI with the right data, with your project performance data, is able to deduce some of these risk identifications to streamline your project and delivery, please?
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Anjana, you want to add to this answer?
Sure. On top of what Kevin spoke about, I think even we talked about in the previous question as well. So it starts from strategy all the way down into defining something which can be measurable as well as aligns with your strategic goals coming into play. So I think choosing something, even if it's AI driven, which aligns with your goals is a critical factor. So that strategic alignment helps you achieve the goals, right? And another thing I would add on is that being agile, it will give you the flexibility in terms of being agile and then reassess and adapt as we go along to see whether you are still aligned, whether you're still achieving your end objective and goal as you go along. The third dimension I would like to add is that where the OKRs to be defined based on a business growth level or a strategic level as a whole organization, as well as cascaded down into the functional levels as well as team levels. So that overall achievement of OKRs can be cascaded down into different levels to make sure that it's successful and it's achievable, because OKRs can be defined as a destination. It helps you move to a destination where the company aspire to be or the overall goal to be. So what I'm trying to say is that it will help us, or we should be making sure that it cascades down into different levels so that everybody involved within an organization is going to be achieving and working towards the same common goal. So this is my addition to that.
Okay, thank you, Anjana. Anybody else wants to add? Tony, you want to add to this question, to this understanding? How do you define success of AI-driven OKRs in your specific role or team? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes.
I think not much to add from Kevin and Anjana. I think that's what we agree with. The one thing is that the success is depends also. I do agree with Emari. AI just like a tool for us. It help us, support us, but if the people cannot really understand how to use it correctly, then it will be becoming misleading to all of us. Maybe that's what for me.
That's correct. Yeah. While AI is the next big thing that is happening in the industry, but many of our audience or members are still confused. How is AI going to help, or is it going to make things challenging for us? So, Anli, would you like to add something more to the question? Because some of our audience would be are interested in knowing how AI is interrelated to OKRs. There's a question from Raghu. So you want to add some or help us answer that question? Anli, we can't hear you. You're on mute, please. Oh yeah, you're okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Okay, let's so yeah. So of course, yeah. As Marina mentioned, yeah. We talking about OKR is translated from strategy, yeah, AI or not. But right now with AI, we got a lot of assistance. AI can help us to leverage data-driven insight, very quick one, intelligent recommendation and continuous refinement. That's enhance clarity, alignment, and also feasibility. Huh? Yeah, in a way, yeah, it actually have to us to convert big strategy, yeah, into OKR, and then go into KPI, yeah, that we usually call smart goals, and AI is with its power, so it can help us to analyze on the from the big goal statement, etc., and provide real-time feedback to ensure more clarity and accountability. And the data-driven is objective, and suggestions is also one of its most, I would say, leveraging power. Yeah, it can help to analyze historical performance, market trends, behavior, interometrics, autonometrics, etc. And if we can put on some objective on the high impact areas, AI can help us to identify gaps and also suggest a feasible way to bridge such gap that help us to align with organization strategic priorities. That's really to reduce a lot of subjectivity and guesswork.
Okay, thank you, Andy. Andy, we have one more question from our audience. They want to know how
Yes.
are OKRs different from KRAs or SMART goals, or are they all the same thing?
Yeah, I would say that what I just mentioned. OKI actually it depends on the way you implement it, but theoretically per se, we got strategies, top goals somewhere there, and then it's translated into OKR. Then the OKR have to be converted into SMART goals. The KPI. That means we have to align. I mentioned earlier to analyze on a goal statement, and then to see what exactly we have to achieve as per goal at operational level. That's translated into the OKR that we set at the middle. So in a way, it kind of
Okay.
at the middle, in the middle areas between strategy and then what we call KPI or SMART goals. I would say most of the time.
Okay. 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 Moving on to the next question that we have for Tony. What concern do you have about relying on AI to measure qualitative goals? Tony, you want to take that up?
Yes, we was on the mute before. So can you come again the qualitative part? Sorry.
What concern do you have about relying on AI to measure the qualitative goals, not the quantitative? The qualitative goals. Are you able to measure qualitative goals like team morale, innovation, empathy?
So maybe yeah, sorry. So a couple of points on that one. I mean the if you want to use the alignment AI with different OKRs, maybe there's some concerns about it's about the subjectivity and nuance, because as we know the AI has a limitation of understanding, right? Especially on how the moral or innovations influence the team dynamics, organizational culture, whatever the external circumstances. AI may not be able to capture all those sentiment elements, because that's something that the AI tools may classify a comment as a positive or negative without understanding the context. So that will be leading maybe leading to misunderstanding of the team morale. So the concept will be the subjectivity of the AI itself. There comes the part of the people or humans come into become the in hand to analyze more in depth. Then the next one is the data quality and the bias. So there will be some inaccurate data because the AI driven insight is, as we know, if we input the AI data with the flow data, pure survey design or whatever unrepresentative sampling, then the output will be of course misleading to all of us. So the qualitative things in these conditions, we need also to have the subjectivity or objectivity coming from the people itself. Then maybe the next one is like the privacy concern, because when you do the data collecting individual sentiments, moral can raise significant privacy issues, right? The employees may feel uncomfortable knowing their emotions are being monitored or whatever you put into AI, the data, whatever. So these things, ethical considerations, how we use AI to assess team morale, can also become. I mean, not all people will like to have those, yeah, like personal things or emotion, whatever, alignment or whatever the collaborations being put into the something in AI to process their, because this is about the feeling and their thoughts. So those are the concerns that we need to maybe paying attention to all those things, because this include the team morale, and also the maybe the last thing is like the technology limitations. Yeah, AI tools can also have a stifle critical thinking and discussion about qualitative goals. Maybe those are the concerns coming from.
Okay. Okay. Anjana, you want to add to that discussion?
Sure. In terms of how AI, I mean, the challenges that we would have, I think we hear quite a lot. I think, Tony, you addressed quite a few. One thing I would say is the diversity of the details that are fed into AI, because the decisions that are made or the output that the tools would be providing you would depends on the training data. So making sure that it's comprehensive enough based on the industry or the type of goals that we are inquiring or getting assistance on from AI, it can really help you on that. So that is one element. And then also the practical challenges of it. As we all know, AI has not reached the level of 100% accuracy and reliability yet in the world. So we'll have to be making sure that when you are depending on an AI-based tool to advise you how the goals should be set up, that there is some human intervention that is required. So in my experience, I always believe in expert judgment of humans. So I always like to have human in the loop, even though we might be depending on quite a bit on AI-based tools going around. And then also the practical challenges, because these are algorithms, right? It can have hallucination, it can have biases, and then it can make errors. So these are some of the factors we need to be mindful of when you're depending on an intelligent tool, and it's learning on its own depending on the technology or the algorithms, how it's defined. It can be self-learning or like supervised learning models, right? So these are some of the factors we would need to be cautious and mindful of when you are depending on AI models for helping you making decisions.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Anjana. Harry, I have a question for you. How can AI assist in setting more measurable, ambitious, and achievable OKRs?
Again, as everybody mentioned and repeatedly we say, AI would not replace managers and strategic managers. AI assists us, meaning that in few years, AI would not replace managers. Managers with AI knowledge would replace managers with no AI knowledge, meaning that you need to keep yourself up to date with the technology, understanding how AI can help you and support you. So again, the way that you can use AI to help and assist you using AI agents is to give different perspectives to the different aspects of the topics that you have. And unfortunately, a lot of people try to not um, concentrate on the human aspect because they can't assess how the human would behave in certain situations. So they want to control things based on resources, facts, data, numbers, things that they can quantify, right? But human emotions is not quantifiable, or it changes based on many parameters that AI has not able to identify yet. So my suggestion, as everybody's mentioning here again, use the AI as assistant. Uh, give it different context. The QPMO methodology that I've developed over the 20 years, 25 years that I've been doing was developed because I was a civil engineer moving to a project management and construction management. So my engineering thinking was creative, trying to do problem solving, But when I went to the construction field, we were managing a lot of these parameters, but we had to follow orders. We had to follow what was planned, what was the actual kind of strategy. It wasn't for us to be creative in the field when people's safety was online. We had to follow
Correct.
the exact plan, otherwise they would get hurt. So, or things could go wrong and we had to do rework. So my development was first look at the factual engineering aspect, then add management to it, then add IT and technology to it. And as we kept looking at different aspects, and I added the human aspect at the end of like this 4 years that I've been in Stanford, because I was taking a lot of these psychology courses, understanding now that we have AI, what is the next intelligence? What are we looking at to do if AI is doing everything for us? What is the next intelligence that humans need to know? And there are a ton of other intelligence that we still have that AI would never be able to get close to, such as emotional intelligence, such as situational intelligence, such as spiritual intelligence. All those intelligences are there that hasn't been discovered yet. AI has a lot of books about it. It has a lot of data and resources about it, but how to connect it and have the context to make best decision, that's the key where the human element comes to say, out of these 5 aspects, these are the ones that I need to focus on because that's my priority, or this is where we need to focus. So again, what I'm saying is not to say, oh, let's not use AI. I remember when I was going to university 25, 30 years ago, some of our college professors, they hated computers. They would say it makes mistakes, it doesn't do the calculation right, I don't trust it. And we used to say, garbage in, garbage out. You don't do the homework first, you're gonna get bad results. So that's how we need to do the same thing, is that if you trust AI too much and you don't control it, you don't have the right kind of guards and rely too much on it, you're going to make a mistake. If you hate it and you try to stay away from it and don't use it, you're not going to survive. You need to be adaptable and you need to be agile and adapt to what the industry is asking you to do. So there is a fine balance. That's all I'm saying, is that you need to optimize your system.
Okay. Anli, you want to add to this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yes. I think I mentioned earlier, yeah. So the power of AI when we're using into OKR actually come down to the fact that we can have can use this to the platform to have generate the more tailored or personalized, if you want to say so, yeah. OKR suggestion that more tailoring to individual roles, skill, current past achievements, so ensuring that each team member goals and are relevant and motivating, you know. So it's kind of have those recommendations, yeah. Help managers. Again, it cannot replace manager. You have to have a human in the loop to decide on this, but it gives us insight that we can balance ambition with achievability. Okay, so talking about OKR only about it mean for stretching goal, not stretching enough, but realistically within the risk. So yeah, it gives us options. Yeah, good managers, human manager can make a right decision. And another aspect is with power and data and tracking, we can have kind of continuous monitoring, monitoring and adaptive updates if you want so. Yeah. So we see right away, yeah, on of the actual result versus the key result. AI can help us to integrate the data from many sources, multiple sources, sometimes from the blind side that we could not see. Yeah, and then can provide manager with real-time insight and even alert the flags. You know, when goals are maybe will be off track in a few weeks, etc. Then we can give leverage on it, predictive analytics power. You know, to forecast potential challenges and ask it to suggest adaptive planning on the change. With all of the VUCA bunny works right now, we cannot set a goal and then waiting like 3 months, 6 months, and then to achieve anymore. Yeah, we have to always constantly adapt to new environments. So with AI support, we can maintain our relevant agility, in dynamic business context. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's my
Okay.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. Any of our other panelists would like to add anything to this discussion, or should we move to the next question? All okay? Okay. So my next question, this is a little critical because we have received a few questions from the audience also. What kind of AI tool or platform could be integrated into your current OKR process? I'll repeat the question. What kind of AI tool or platform can be integrated into your current OKR process? A platform in the sense GPT, analytics engine, or recommendation systems. So who wants to take up this question? Madeline, you want to go
I
ahead?
can answer if you want.
Yes. Go ahead,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Go ahead. We'll give a chance
Yes.
to everyone. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. I just share agent ChatGTP that we have created through the chat. That ChatGTP we have created with all our knowledge and knowledge from many OKR well-known coaches in all over the world. So it could be really helpful for everyone who wants to draft their first OKRs, and also if they need help to planning the rituals and the process of the OKR deployment. So I just shared the link through the chat that everyone who can use it anytime. And the first, the thing that I really like about ChatGTP or any generative AI is that you can use it 24 hours 7. So anytime you can use it. This is the first AI tool that I recommend. Another tool that I recommend if you are well, depend of the majority of the process that you have. If you just have your first cycle of OKR, I don't recommend you a system. Just use a Excel or a Google Sheet that you can do the check-ins and do the review of your OKR. But if you just using the OKR process more than 3 cycles or 1 year, maybe it could be a really good option to have a system. So in the market, you have many systems. The one that I really like is Viva Walls because it's connected with Microsoft tools. It's really intuitive and you can use it. It costs more or less between $9 and $12 per user. Also, you can have Perdo. This is a Germany company and it's really good. You can have OKRs and also KPIs and you can have your check-ins on it. And another one that I also know is GTM Hub. Is a really good one. It's really helpful for big companies. We have many divisions and many levels. So the problem of using OKR when you have many teams is how you can integrate the information and how everyone can use it. And this information that you can put in the system, you can see the overview. So GTM Hub is really good for that. So I recommend it. And about another question that I saw in the chat is about another person who says about NAN, okay, how we can use it. I recommend to use NAN to integrate notifications because there is a big issue of OKR is to develop the new habit. What is the habit? To review and to talk about your OKRs because you establish and then you forget it. So we have to be really conscious about that and review then every week or every 2 weeks. So maybe you can use NAN to link with notification to your teams. Every week you have a notification, remember the review that you have to do, or if you are in the end of the quarter, you have to do or deploy the retrospective meeting. Remember that you have this meeting, so you can use these kind of links to get this kind of notification.
Okay.
Thank you, Amit.
Yeah. Madeline, a follow-up question to you. Since you have been working on OKR for the last 6+ years, so recently were you able to integrate this with any of the AI tools? Like, was apart from ChatGPT, do you know of anybody else who has done this? Were they able to make predictive analysis about the OKRs or give you more details about them using the AI tool?
Here in Latin America, I heard companies that they use AI. A part of generative AI, they use also to analyze the information. For example, when we need to create the corporate OKR or a strategic OKR, we need to analyze the information from the last year to get information and to realign the strategy. So they also use AI platform to analyze the information to get these updated of maybe prices, information of competitors and other things. So here in Latin America, there are companies who are using for that, and also many students from OKR University use ChatGPT for they do the first drafting. But as Harry says, remember that the AI is our partner, because sometimes they are misunderstanding. Even AI, ChatGPT have a misunderstanding. Okay?
Yeah.
Everything is not real. So we have to develop our critical thinking. So be careful with that.
Right.
And do a double check every time that we use that.
Yeah. On a lighter note, my kids say ChatGPT is a partner. It does the homework and they submit it. So that's just partnership,
That's
right?
it.
Yeah. Okay. I maybe before we end, right? If there is any question that
Actually, I think this is a great topic because if we want, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
Ahmed. If we want people to have some practical, maybe tools that they can use, I appreciate it if Madeline can post those things in the chat, because I didn't see the chat GPT that she said she created for the OKRs. Another tool that I recommend is STS24. STS24, it creates the boards for you based on AI agents that they developed in organizations. And they have different, like they have a CEO, CFO, like CSO, all those like C-suite kind of like characters and agents in it. And you take your conversation into that tool, and you can pick and choose between the responses and build on it. So it doesn't completely eliminate the human interaction to identify the context and what needs to be thinking, but it really helps with giving AI the power to only select the portions of the response that is relevant to the next iteration of thinking. So I really enjoyed using that tool. I think you should look into it. And this is the collaboration and lessons learned that we need to ensure people can collaborate on their best practices. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Harry. Thank you for pointing that. Madeline, can you also mention about the GTM help that we discussed a few minutes ago? The link for that. Okay. So what we will do is, if the panelists have a question to the other panelists, right? If you can think of a question that you want answer to, maybe we can just do a round robin. And if there is any question that you have, we can ask because there are panelists from different region, different 8 continents. So probably something better that they might be be operating in their area, which would be helpful or useful for us to know. So I'll just take a few more questions that we have from the audience. Meanwhile, you think about a question that you want to ask the other panelists. My next question is to Kevin. Kevin, what training or mindset shift would be necessary for team to trust AI supported OKRs?
Okay, so in terms of the trainings, right? I think it starts off with I would always say it starts off with you. So we need to have the growth mindset as project professionals to be able to ask the right questions, to be able to have a continuous learning capability and like mindset um, shift to ensure that the world we are in and the projects we are delivering is always changing, and so there's always emerging capabilities, technologies that we need to always keep abreast with. So the first training starts with us. The second training that I'll seek as project professionals within the PMI space is looking at prompt engineering as well as AI, the driven trainings to be able to understand, just as we always say, garbage in, the garbage out. So we need to grasp the basic foundation of AI and how it works and how we can apply it to our project's work. Then the last bit is with ethical considerations that we need to look at. The fact that we are inputting a lot of data, we need to be mindful of the fact that there's data privacy consequence, there's governance frameworks that we need to also look at, and we also have an understanding of the fact that it is not all of proprietary information that we need to be sharing online. So we need to take into consideration that bit as well, and then be agile in the sense that continuous learning. Where we sit as project professionals, we need to continue to learn. There's always a new buzzword that we need to be abreast with, and all of this as part of AI, as we all said, is to enhance our work, is to make our work much more easier, and be that able assistant to be able to get all our deliveries done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Thank you for sharing that growth mindset concept with us. Okay, I think we are almost getting to the close of this session. So my question to the panelists is, do you have a question which you want to be answered? Anything that you know you would like to share which has not been covered? Maybe you can pick up that as a question, and then if nobody else is able to answer, maybe you can answer that.
I think it's not a question, it's more like a poll. If you can do a poll to see how many people have what kind of certifications and if they have been using AI. So the result of the poll can show us the percentage of the expertise that our audience had, and if they kind of learn something new that they can use for the future. So that would be 3 questions that I would ask.
So you want to run a poll to know the certification that they have?
Yes.
A certification in the sense PMP
And if they're
certification?
using AI, and if this event was useful, did they learn something that they could use for their work in the future? Yes. These are the 3 questions that I would say a poll would be good to have. Thanks.
Okay.
Maybe other people have other interesting
Yes.
questions to ask too, but
Okay. Okay, good. Maybe we can run a poll separately. Okay, Anjana, you have anything to ask?
Actually, more than a question, I just wanted to sort of share some pointers, because based on I'm an auditor, so I thought if I don't talk about the audit compliance and the risk side of things, right? When it comes for AI, this is something getting tagged along. And what we have gathered here, the community here, is we are a set of project managers, right? A project management professionals, but in diverse industries. So as you can see, I mean, just to add on to what Kevin said also, the growth mindset and being eager to learn, our roles are evolving into where we need to be having that 360-degree knowledge going a little bit beyond the project management skill, right? Because technology has invaded our space, and AI takes a huge part of it, right? So as professionals who would have a sound knowledge on the business side and project management core skills, I think another dimension is around what these technologies are, how those work, and what risks are there. If you're relying on an AI tool, just like Madeline explained beautifully, like, the different tools we could use, but as project professionals, we should be able to make a judgment. Is this the right tool for me from a functionality perspective, security perspective, and does it have the right knowledge built in, which it can answer my questions and help me with defining my OKRs? So that comes into training data. And then how can we make sure these tools are up to date? Because these are algorithmic models which are trained based on certain data, right? If you don't keep up with it, that model is going to be outdated. So your OKRs, your monitoring, the agility, everything is going to be obsolete, right? Let's say I'm working in mining industry and the model that I'm using is geared for logistics, for example. It's not going to be intelligent enough to answer my questions, right?
Correct.
So these are the things that we need to be mindful of, irrespective of which tool it is. You don't have to be a guru in AI, right? But you need to have the right business acumen, a solid foundation, project management skills, and at least have a high level understanding. If it's like a basic block diagram, how does this model work? Where does it get the data? And let's say you're defining your OKRs, can my competitors pull it out from the same tool? Right? So these are some of the questions we need to be really mindful of. It's not as easy as logging into ChatGPT and asking a question. It goes a bit more beyond that. So if you don't have the skill set, read about it, and also at least to have a sound understanding, and make sure in your project teams that you have an expert there. Looking into regulatory side, information security side, IT security side, and anything else around AI. So you need to have that complete team supporting you. Otherwise, that could be a bit of a challenge that we're heading for, which we will not be able to run away from. So we have to move along. So best is to make your peace with it, but get that support for you. So that's something I wanted to add in.
Thank you, Anjana.
And,
Thank you so much.
may I add just
Yeah.
one detail onto what
Yes,
Anjana? Yeah, all of this actually, most of those comments, you can actually have a reference in the AI adoption guide for organization published by PMI back in April. Yeah, and Anjana just give a lot of example and reinforcement. Yeah, to validate on the arguments. But if you want to get back to reference, you might want to check such guide, the AI adoption guide for organization that came out published in past April. It mentioned a lot about how we have to communicate the AI methodologies, how do we have to create transparent dashboard, as blendability features, training access for the user, educate user on how to understand the planetary source, algorithm behind AI algorithms, etc. Yeah. So basically, it's a very good, a very practical guide, yeah, to have organization to adopt AI gradually in your organization. Yeah. So I strongly recommend it. Yeah.
Okay. Madeline, you want to add something?
Yes, thank you. I would like to encourage everyone who has watched this video to use OKR just not for working for our work. We can use for our life. And we have as an OKR coach, we have a mantra. What is the mantra? Remember, less is more. It's not about doing many things in our life. It's about focusing in what really matters. Having few clear and aligned objectives allow us to concentrate our energy and resources on creating real impact. So if we're focused, we have more energy. If we have more energy, we're gonna be more happy. So we can create a really good and real happy world if we use carefully objectives. So I invite everyone to use OKR just not for work, also for our life. Thank you.
That's a big statement. Less is more. So I don't know. Is less money also more, or no? Okay. Okay. Tony and Kevin, you want to add?
less complication. Less complication is more value. That's what it is. But you just need to
Less,
kind of fill the blanks. Yes.
less complication. Thanks. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
More
right.
value.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tony and Kevin, do you have any question that you want to ask our panelists?
Maybe last from me. Just I mean, it's really interesting to discuss about this OKR. But as mentioned earlier, I saw the audience here is actually first time in the OKR things, right? Maybe just want to ask Madeline to help on the assisting when we are going to use when one organization is using OKR versus KPIs, because as for Indonesia, as based on my personal experience, organizations using OKR is not much, not many. They prefer to use KPIs. So it maybe in a simple ways. Can you help to maybe explain uh, when one organizations use KPI or prefer using OKRs maybe? Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. About that question, I just want to say that remember that we don't have to choose. If we have to choose KPR or OKRs, we can work together because those methodology works differently, but they can work together. OKRs, we're gonna use it to deploy our strategy, and KPIs is gonna work help us to review that day-to-day work. So we can choose to work with both. So the most important is to know that kind of culture that we have to promote in our company. If we want, if we have to create, if we want to create a culture like safety, psychology safety, a culture to innovate. So this kind of culture are really good for OKRs. But if we don't have this kind of culture, we have to rethink if we wanna use OKRs.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I think we are almost at the end of our session now. I'll just share my thank you for a very interesting and very diversified rather discussion that we did, and we will. I am sure there will be many more questions which we will have, and also the audience will have, because AI has just taken over. Right? It's just the beginning of the beginning. Not even the we have not even scratched the surface. So there is still a lot more to go, and there's a lot, and it is moving very fast. So probably we will have more questions, and then we will be connected on LinkedIn. And if there are other questions that we want the panelists to also answer, do let us know. We will share a feedback form and then take it forward. Thank you, panelists, for the discussion today. And I'm sure you also got to learn and understand more about how the audiences are questions are. And I'm just sharing my screen and taking the rest of the sessions to closure.
Thank you.
Okay, I will quickly do
Thank
this. Yeah.
you.
Yeah, just hold on. We will just wrap it up in a few minutes.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
it.
So we have a quote today by Mrinalini Chauhan from PMI Mumbai chapter, and the quote says, "Excitement to vision, to alignment, to execution and precision. They all club together to AI-driven OKRs is the way to go. Excitement to vision, to alignment, to execution and precision." That's what the quote says. Now I'm going to the next slide. That is, I think we are almost at the end of our session. We'll just share my screen, and this is the presentation. Okay, this is the exchange effect. We have people from 10 different countries. This is just the 10. There are others which are lesser numbers, which will not be able to, because this was done at the beginning of a session. We had 350 plus members attending the session today, and we have a feedback uh, post. So if some of you can, or most of you can, just scan the QR code and give your feedback. We would like to bring forward more such sessions to you from people across the globe, across chapters, and give you a different perspective about the same topic. So this is, so your feedback is definitely going to help us and improve the presentation and also the content of this session. So please take a few minutes to scan this and provide your feedback. Okay. And as a chapter and as a board, what we have decided recently is that we will not be sharing the PDU code. The PDU code will be sent across to your email as part of the feedback session. So I'm not sharing the PDU code in the next slide. So will be sent in emails. Okay. Moving on to the next session, next screen. This is a session planned for our next event, which is happening on 18th of July. Rapidly adapting to changing business environment. Rapidly adapting to changing business environment. So here also we will have a touch of API, AI, and rapidly adapting to changing business environment. And we will have panelists from Sri Lanka, Taiwan, Spain, Jalisco, South Africa, and Alaska. So there will be people from across the globe talking to you about their understanding on this topic. And we will also be sharing this with our supporting partnering chapters to publish this within their chapter marketing thing. So if you are online now, just scan this QR code and just register yourself for. Okay, I think with that we come to the closure of this event, and I would want to just thank all our audience. Heartfelt thanks to all the attendees who registered for the session and attended this session, because the registration is multifold, at least 5 to 6 times than people who attend. And we thank you for giving your time and attention today. We'll be back again next month, and follow our social media handle for more details. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you soon. And for the panelists, we will be sending a certificate from our chapter, and we request you to accept that and publish that on your social media LinkedIn post. Thank you so much. Thanks for having a great time with us. I enjoyed. I hope you also did.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Thanks.
Thank
you, everybody.
you.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. Function.